At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. 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 If we care enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Check this out, right? Yeah. What's up, pimp? We doing this for all the ladies out there, right?
Come on.
We want y'all to listen closely to what we got to say. Who on this?
Joe Crack.
Who else?
Trick.
Big Sam. B&B Click. Let's do it.
I ain't really here to play no games. You already know my name, yeah. Freaky deaky, cause it ain't no thing, yeah. I ain't really here to play no games, yeah. You already know my name, yeah. Freaky deaky, cause it ain't no thing, yeah.
Ain't no telling what a should do. For the dough, she probably get on 4 and the crew. Down south, up north, be the same as this. Man locked up, her mama watching the children. Talking about my neck, my back. You better learn how to chop rocks if you wanna get with crack. I've been in love once, Lisa thought that till I around and hit a roll back. Got burnt, now you figured the rest. Hurt like a piston baguette. Now I'm living depressed. Should've known better than to trust the hoe. Especially she wanna know how much dough you hold. Cause there ain't too many real. If you got one, hold on. Don't wanna be nobody's meal ticket. And you know it don't mean to me. Cause you know ain't to me. Why?
Play no games, yeah. You already know my name, yeah. Freaky deaky, cause it ain't no thing, yeah.
Welcome back into hour 3 of RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Listen, birthday shout out time. Happy birthday, Lil Jon. I feel like if you sleep on Lil Jon's production in the early to mid 2000s, you are missing out. Lil Jon had us going.
He did.
Lil Jon had hits on his own, and then the stuff that he was producing, partying, man. What?
Lil Jon was my early college moments, and the South was brought to the West Coast. Let me just go ahead and say that. And I also got to say, I said it before, you know, when you think about that resurrection kind of sort of the Bay movement, Tell Me When to Go, E40 and all that, that was all Lil Jon Productions right
Ghost
there.
Ride the Whip.
It goes. Keek the Sneak and all of that. I don't know if it was on that, but feel it.
Oh, yeah, and I want to give Lil Jon his flowers one more time. One of my favorite shows at the time being was The Apprentice.
I was going to say Celebrity Apprentice. Oh, that was a good season.
Apprentice. And quite frankly, man, I think, you know, when you look at Lil Jon, you know, there's the stereotype or whatnot. But but he really showed his business acumen. Like all that ratchet stuff that you saw, like Lil Jon is a great businessman, and man, he did dope. If I'm not mistaken, I think he was top 3 on that season. But man, I was just so proud of Lil Jon during that season.
That's what you want to see.
Not LaToya Jackson?
Was she on that season with him?
She was.
Okay.
So was Nene and Dionne Warwick.
I was about to say, okay. Listen, I got a Dionne Warwick song coming up.
And Star Jones.
Not song, Dionne Warwick story coming up later in this
That was
hour.
a good season. Everybody was on there.
I hate to say this because, you know, we don't speak well of that man. That was a good show. The Apprentice was a great show.
Here's what we say to that. Before he became who he was.
When he was just a reality star?
Yeah. Oh, we ate it up.
Yeah. After that, no. So January 17th has a lot of Capricorns in the books. You know, Ray J. Shout out Ray J.
Are we really shouting out Ray J?
Absolutely. Sugar Free.
I forgot you were friends with Ray J.
Sugar Free. We got to shout out Sugar Free.
Yeah.
While you BSing.
Yeah.
You know. Michelle Obama.
Okay.
She's 60. Debbie Allen.
I
love Debbie Allen.
Don't even get me started.
Love Debbie Allen.
Yeah.
Like Debbie Allen is someone I grew up idolizing because she was a quadruple threat, could sing, dance, act, and then saw her direct and do all of that.
Wasn't her dance academy like literally down the street over
It
there?
was, yeah, it was right in, it started off in Culver City, then they moved to a bigger spot in, right there at the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Mall where the, I forget what restaurant it used to be, but they took over the space and were in there. It was in the it was another restaurant whose space that the school took in with, and then they bought another place and expanded it out. But now they have since moved from this location to I think it was it Ava DuVernay? Maybe it was Shonda Rhimes. My bad. I believe it's Shonda Rhimes, and she purchased a warehouse space for them on Western and maybe Western and Washington. I can't remember the exact location, but she purchased a space for them to expand and open the school up to have student body. So actual classes there, not just the performing arts aspect, but educational as well. So the school has continued to expand. I wish that it had been around when I was in my, childhood, teens, or whatever, because I definitely would have been there. I wanted to go to Fame or performing arts school so very bad.
You are funny to me.
Who, me?
Yes.
So here's the thing. I did go to USC Performing Arts School, but not like educational, like it was an after school
Washington
thing.
and Western.
It is on Washington and Western.
Yes.
That's what I thought. So, I have so much risk because we know that the arts have been taken out of schools and so forth. And, even if you don't go after a career in the arts, I think it's important for children to be exposed to it, to learn from it. There's so many connections that you can make, music and math. You can explore your creative side, which can also help you in the business sense. I just think that the arts are important, and I'm always an advocate for ways that they can stay in and stay involved, especially when people give back. So shout out to Miss Debbie Allen. It's also her birthday. Steve Harvey, James Earl Jones, Dwayne Wade.
Oh, wow.
And when is Muhammad Ali's birthday? Is it also today as well? Yep. So January 17th is jam-packed for the Capricorns. Big up. Shout out to my fellow Earth signs. I like Caps. Appreciate them. And I think it's my uncle's birthday as well. Might be tomorrow. But shout out to him as well. Listen, Caps are doing it big, right? It's Cap season. It's cold. Shout out to Ronnie Simone, too.
Yes.
Big Cap in the building. Listen, when we come forward, we're going to get into this Beverly Johnson story. We're also going to tell you the top 5 most expensive cities in the United States. And I got a Dionne Warwick story for you. So
you know what?
All of that and more.
Auntie Dion.
Auntie Dion. Auntie Dion was talking about who she was lusting after back in the day. All of that and more on the other side. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency. On low Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face. When it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Granddad, what's good?
Hey there, got us a quarter pounder with cheese and McNuggets.
Wow. Haven't had our special McDonald's order in a minute.
Heard your little tic-tac-toe dance didn't get no likes.
Oh, man, is Mom telling everybody?
You know she is.
There's a deal for every favorite grandson at McDonald's. Right now, get one favorite like a Quarter Pounder with cheese or 10-piece chicken McNuggets and get another for just $1. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Single Moms Planet is a nonprofit organization dedicated to uplifting under-resourced single mom business owners and working mothers nationwide. Single Moms Planet offers comprehensive programs of financial literacy, business development, mentorship, and entrepreneurial training. They provide education, accountability, and hope. Single Moms Planet was founded by model, TV personality, and producer Nefertari Plessy. Nefertari felt firsthand the challenges that face single moms as she was raised by a working single mother. She learned that the most disadvantaged group in the United States are single mom families. According to the U.S. Census, 30% live under the poverty line. So she decided to do something about it, along with co-founder Cole Patterson. Their goal is to end the poverty cycle in single mother households through education, opportunity, and networking, providing family and child enrichment programs for under-resourced single-parent families. Single Moms Planet serves over 10,000 single moms and their children each year. Studies show that business development and financial literacy provide a positive environment for children and families, exposing them to new possibilities and opportunities. To attend one of their fun events, make a donation, or get more information, or if you need help as a single mom, please visit singlemomsplanet.org. That's singlemomsplanet.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So before we get into Beverly Johnson's 70s diet and Dionne Warwick and the prettiest man she had ever seen in her life, we're going to get into really quickly the priciest cities to live in the United States.
We have to live in one of them.
Boardroom. Absolutely.
Number 3.
Well, let me start with this.
I'm sorry, this is your show, not mine.
We're
Got too excited.
We're here together. Let me say this.
Because listen,
4 out of the 5 cities are on the West Coast.
I can name all of them.
Go ahead. Go.
San Francisco.
No, it's not in the top 5.
Really?
It might be in the top 10, but it's not in the top 5.
Okay, so it has to be a suburb of San Francisco then, at least. One of them. Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara is number 5.
Okay. Los Angeles.
Number 2.
Seattle.
Not on the list.
Wow.
Well, not on the top 5.
San Diego for sure.
San Diego's number 1.
Yeah, because it's really Republican down there. Very Republican.
Actually, the OC is not, unless like they included it in that Los Angeles, because San Diego and Los Angeles are 1 and 2. So they might have, LA County, San Diego County'd it and kind of, blended those two together.
Well, San Diego's always been expensive, but these prices that they want in LA, it just does not make any sense. It's ridiculous. Like it's you can't even get it out.
It's mind blowing. So 3 and 4, right? 3 is not in California, but a West Coast.
Okay.
Kind of. Honolulu.
Oh, that makes sense.
Honolulu.
It makes total sense.
Honolulu.
Yeah.
And number 4, not in California, not on the West Coast. And not New York. I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. Not New York.
Washington, D.C.
No, it's not on the West Coast.
Oh, not on the West Coast.
Oh, I'm sorry. Washington, D.C. is obviously on the East Coast.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Washington. Nope, not D.C.
Okay, so Miami then.
Boom.
Oh, yeah.
Miami. So let me break down that list for you one more time. At number 5, Santa Barbara. Number 4, Miami. Number 3, Honolulu. Number 2, Los Angeles. And number 1, San Diego. Why would you even bother?
San Diego is very Republican, but you have
It's beautiful down there.
It's beautiful, but Coronado Island alone, the houses are, just look it up. Coronado Island. It's stupid. It's like $8 million for a house.
Just the house.
Just
not your driveway.
The house,
not the
on.
furniture, just the house.
Yeah, it's like a regular house.
Listen, it is so expensive. I don't know. I mean, I guess you just adapt, right?
No,
you don't.
You find somewhere else to live.
And that's why people are fleeing California. But
Yeah,
I feel, but they'll
can't do
always
it.
want to come back. It's like Atlantis. You'll always come back to
So
me.
the fix to that is, well, I'm in a very privileged situation, so I can't. I have the I have the luxury of moving somewhere else and then just flying into LA to frolic and stay at my mom's guest house in the back.
I mean,
everybody's not able, so that's why I just don't talk and don't say anything, because I'm in a very privileged position.
Listen, people do a lot to get to LA and do a lot to stay in
Listen, Linda, they sure do. Baby, sleeping in cars,
doing all types of things.
Sleeping
just
on,
to,
listen, and it's not even all that. Oh, you know what? I just want to give a moment of gratitude to the universe that I've never had to experience too many adverse things, because I just hear the stories about some of the things that people go through and continue to do just to live in the land of pixie. And it's, I love when people, live out their dreams and do anything to make them happen. But I also pray for these people too, because it can be hard. It can be very alarming sometimes and taking a toll.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
With the way that the internet and social media have come together, and we've seen people become stars from anywhere, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think that it is still necessary to be in a LA, Atlanta, or New York to break into entertainment, media, etc. currently?
Depending on what medium you want to go in. If you want to just be an internet star, which is very viable right now, you can do that from anywhere. But let's say you want to be on TV, you got to go to where they film TV shows.
New York, Atlanta,
or Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I know that there's a debate about that, because obviously with the advent of social media and your own personal channel, you can reach massive, from anywhere that you are. There are people locked in, if you really think about it, locked into your life like you are on a reality TV show in the 90s, right?
Everybody's living an episode of The Truman Show at this point.
And so I wonder, for some, I think that there is still the drive and the desire to be in the spaces and places where they feel like, I've really made it, right?
Yes.
And so I think that because of that, no matter what happens, and no matter, please, we don't need any more higher prices in California.
No.
But no matter what happens, I think people will try and make their way back, even if they leave out, to feel that connection that, there's lots of cities. There's lots of things. Everyone has their personal preference. But just like there's something about New York, the energy or whatever, there is something about LA that just feels different.
Yes.
And so,
I get it.
Whatever.
I'm from here, but I'm not paying $5,000 a month to do it. Yeah, and I don't recommend anybody else do that either, because it's not even beneficial.
What if you had a roommate? I'm joking. I'm joking.
That's not beneficial. What if your roommate is Dahmer in the making?
Okay, look, we're not gonna wish.
Look, I'm not wishing on nobody, but I'm just saying, you better watch Lifetime.
Anything can happen, right?
Yeah.
These days. So Beverly Johnson, we know that she is one of the first supermodels, right? Mm-hmm. She kicked off her modeling career in 1971. She became the first African-American woman to grace the cover of American Vogue in 1974. So we're talking 50 years this year, right? Shout out to her. Her daughter is engaged to Matt Barnes, and they're about to launch a new reality show, which I'm sure we'll see Beverly on. Beverly Johnson, was she Miss Trinidad on that episode of Martin? I feel like she was Miss Trinidad.
I don't know.
Okay. And, obviously she set the stage for a lot of black models, right? So here's the thing. In a recent interview, what
Didn't she have a show on for a bit?
She did. Her daughter was on there with her.
Yes,
that one too.
that's. I was like, they're familiar to me in Palm Springs.
I believe so.
Lovely home in Palm Springs.
Yeah, it was maybe 10 years ago.
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. So, in a recent interview with Page Six, we also know that she recently appeared in the Essence magazine documentary that documented 50 years of Essence. She was a frequent cover girl there, right? So, she spoke about the dangerous side of modeling, which, we've seen these conversations. I remember in the 80s, there were TV shows and books about bulimic models, and they would have, there was a lot about anorexia and bulimia in those after-school specials and TV movies and TV shows.
Yes,
in the 80s.
Tracy Gold.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on. Didn't
I
she
love
star
her.
as herself in her own version of thing? Yeah.
I mean, starving yourself and then eating and then purging to the point where you don't eat for days and then you go out jogging and you collapse. I love it. Tell us more. What drives you to that? Because I'm hungry.
Hollywood.
And I want a biscuit.
Listen, Hollywood, you think about it. It is. I was having this conversation with someone earlier today about Vivica Fox and her career. No, because we've all been talking about Vivica.
Vivica needs wigs.
Listen, Vivica, get it. Vivica's wig line does well.
You better pivot, Vivica.
But that is exactly the point.
South Bend's finest.
We were talking about what happened with Vivica, that she made the switch, that she had to kind of go in that direction. Lifetime
Hallmark movies,
all of the thing and stuff like that. So I was saying that she was about 37, 38 when that happened. So in addition to people being turned off, I think, from her relationship with 50 Cent at the time, and how she was, here goes an old school word, we don't say this anymore, sprung over 50, I think that was a turnoff for a lot of people.
That wasn't what the turnoff was.
What was it?
I'm not repeating it. When she talked about that she was a professional salad tosser, that was what did it.
Okay. Well, that involves 50. I just think that at that period she was, not at a midlife crisis per se, but keeping herself relevant at a time where relevancy, especially for black actresses, at that point was much, much lower. She was beyond the point of being an ingenue at that point, but not ready to be somebody's mama and, sort of. She wasn't there. That wasn't where she was at that time. And I think that Hollywood didn't have space for that woman at that time. There weren't projects about that.
You know what I wish celebrities would talk about who are legends and have had long careers? I wish that they would talk about the waiting game and being patient. Because I'm going to jack that woman's name up. Say it for me. Iyanla Vanzant?
Yeah, she had a book called In the Meantime.
Yes. So every, artist of stature, they have this point, they do this.
The bell curve.
Yeah, and then there's this low period. And sometimes you hear from people and sometimes you don't. But one thing that we've always seen is a resurgence. Always. You look at Tracy Spencer, okay? Been gone for 20, 30 years, whatever it is. And then she pops up on the Instagram and everybody's like, "Oh my God, Tracy Spencer."
I think that has a lot to do with us as black fans, especially of we really revered our legends, our people that we look up to, and we want to throw the flowers at them because it also reminds us of a good period for us too. There's for most of these people, fond memories attached, and they want to we want to show we appreciate what they've done for us.
There's always gonna and that's true. There's always gonna be a resurgence. If you have the it factor, you'll always have it. It doesn't go anywhere.
You sure? We've seen some people lose it.
Who?
We've seen some people lose it.
Okay, we still like watching that train wreck that Casey and JoJo is sometimes. I'll just go ahead and say it, right? Listen, we still watch and we still pay attention because there's something there that we love it, right?
They have the riz.
Yeah. So it comes and it goes, and I think that people should enjoy that downtime a little bit more, and I think that people should also talk about what to do
during that time
that downtime, because for me, I think if you've experienced a high level of success once before, you will experience it once again on some level.
Okay, I feel that. I think, but I definitely agree with you in discussing, what happens during that time frame, how you keep yourself focused, how you keep yourself happy, how you advance or evolve your skill set if need be.
And I think a lot of it too, like if you led like a regular civilian life before you got famous, that sometimes often helps. But in the world that we live in now, there's always going to be somebody 20 years from now that's going to find some clip and be like, oh, whatever happened to, and that's all it's going to take for you to go viral. And somebody is bring Cheryl Lynn.
True. She's about to go. What did she say on tour, right?
Or something, and it could be 30 years or 40. You never know. Girl, have a barbecue, throw a birthday party, go on trips. Be normal, be regular, away from, the spotlight and the downtime, and come back when it's your moment again, because you'll have it.
I think something to that though is I think people don't value is moving away to get more experiences, to have more to talk about. Now, obviously, it's a little different with actors and actresses, but we were just talking about Drake recently, how I think he needs to maybe take a break. Just so that you could get some different content in the mix,
and clarity.
Conversations.
And see, the thing is, people don't realize if you don't take a break, the universe and life will force you to take one.
Now that is true. Listen, when we come forward, we're going to get into Beverly Johnson's comments about her cocaine use. And
is that what it was?
That's part of the diet.
So what the LA diet is now?
Yeah, but hers is a little more strict. We're gonna get into that on the other side.
That's the LA diet.
It came back. It made its way back around.
Oh, it didn't go anywhere. We just didn't know what it was called.
Listen, that's one diet fad I never got into.
I mean, come
the
on.
Others, but
no, I'm good.
I definitely went to CVS. I think it was Savon's back in the day, and bought some Trim Spa.
I love Trim Spa. I never taken it, but starvation is more of my gig these days.
Yeah, I like to feel full. I don't like feeling
hungry. I don't like to do it anymore. I've been full a long time. Empty out.
I mean, balance. I don't want to feel emaciated like my stomach is talking to me.
Well, when you've been
like
large,
a hug,
you've been large a long time, sometimes you want to feel emaciated and empty.
Okay.
I've subscribed to the Tracy Go before.
Listen, Urban Spencer mentioned in the chat that Nicole
Scherzinger.
That she was also bulimic, so.
That's horrible.
We'll get into all of that on the
other
side.
Girl, just swallow the food and chew it up. Child, going through all the motions to do. Girl, just don't eat.
The acid tears up your throat and your teeth. You can always tell people that play with that because they generally...
Just don't eat. I'm telling you, starvation is key. Take it from a person who went from a... Listen, I won't tell you my waist size now.
Listen, news and sports is on the other side. You're locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Trim Spot, baby. Yeah.
You already know my name, yeah. Freaky deaky, cause it ain't no thing, yeah. I ain't really here to play no game, yeah. You already know my name, yeah. Freaky deaky, cause it ain't no thing, yeah.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Former Baltimore Mayor Sheila Dixon's campaign says she raised over $520,000 last year in her effort to unseat Mayor Brandon Scott. The Democrat, who is black, has $370,000 on hand. Scott, who is also black, raised $682,000 and has over $835,000 on hand. Meanwhile, fellow Democratic candidate Bob Wallace has $230,000 on hand after raising $250,000 last year. Maryland Attorney General Anthony Brown has joined 21 other state attorney generals in urging the Biden administration to enact a ban on menthol cigarettes and flavored cigars. The attorney generals argue the review and implementation of the proposed FDA rules, which they say are supported by ample evidence, are long overdue. They say these cigarettes are especially appealing to minority communities and young people. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Shop the closeout event now at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $100 when you spend $999 or more on all major appliances. Valid 1/4/24 to 1/24/24. Selection varies by location while supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyaudio.media.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyaudio.media.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your Black.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Thea Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Thea Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Thea Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision?
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA member FDIC.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call Call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Cover California is a free service from the state that's already helped millions of people like you get and pay for health insurance. With financial help to lower the cost of health coverage, you could get a quality health plan for less than $10 a month. Every plan covers preventive care, doctor visits, emergency care, and more. If you have questions, we're here to help every step of the way. Cover California, this way to health insurance. Enroll by January 31st at coveredca.com.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Want to tell them it's a Shabbat thing. Suckling sing. Yard and foreign kick up. Rock wine. Sing. Ting-a-ling-a-ling. Sing. Band silent swing. Sing. DJ is stuck up in the beer bomb rhythm. Sing. Ting-a-ling-a-ling. Sing. Gold bell a ring. Sing. Knife and fork a fine for dumpling. Booyaka booyaka for Shabba ranking. Shabba rocks disappear with another man change. So them are the done to the biz. We have the key. Put the down to the key and turn them in a donkey. Yes, Shabba. Them are the done to the biz. We have the key. Put the down to the key and turn them in a donkey. Who
Listen.
yes, they can't allow me. I am the general in the DJ army. With not only I and cross all the T. And sit all the gal them tickle fancy. And anywhere we go, gal gone crazy. Listen, ding-a-ling-a-ling, school bell a ring.
So, January 17th is just like one of those GOAT days for Capricorn. Also born on January 17th. Happy birthday, Shabba Ranks. Shabba! Listen.
Mr. Loverman.
Man, was that him and Maxie Priest? No, that was I Just Want to Be Close to You.
Yeah, and if you watch In Living Color, the skit was Mr. Ugly Man.
I forgot about that. That, yo.
I don't remember. I think it was one of the Wayans guys.
You know what's so crazy? Again, connecting the dots. So shout out to you. None of that stuff could go. Where can you watch? Is In Living Color streaming on something right now?
It might be on Tubi, actually.
I'm going to check and see. I think it was Marlon that did it. Look at how it all lines up.
Yep.
And and that's when Marlon was especially slender at that time and stuff. Very, very young.
19.
Yep. Listen.
The Wayans. That was a time. That was really a time. Wow.
And again,
Sunday nights on Fox.
Sunday nights on Fox was a thing.
It was it. You had to have been there.
Okay. So happy birthday, Shabba. And shout out to those Wayans once again.
Yes.
So let me get to Beverly Johnson's diet in the 70s.
Yes, tell me what this is, because we might need to bring this into the 2024.
She said we were people were saying that in the comments.
What?
So you do what? What we got to do, Beverly?
Yes.
Because I can't afford Ozempic. And then some of the girlies were like, but Ozempic is what's getting us popping through it now.
But who is sitting up injecting themselves? Excuse me, I can't do it.
A lot of these people.
They are, but it's not. I'm not one of them.
A lot.
The only time I'm injecting myself is if it's an EpiPen after somebody spiked me with shrimp.
Man.
And I'm not even doing it. I'm passing the pen to somebody else.
So Beverly said, we were led to believe that cocaine was not addictive. We didn't know it was addictive. Everyone used drugs back in the day.
Yes, because it was that pure.
It was a social thing.
And it wasn't addictive.
But that particular drug, she said cocaine was addictive, but that particular drug was used because we did not eat. I remember she said that her diet was 2 eggs and a bowl of brown rice for a week. She said she would be shaking in a cab and say, pull over, so that she could go buy a bag of M&Ms. But That's it. She said she would just stop and get the shake. She said we didn't eat, and every time you came to work, they would say, yes, chisel to the bone, girl, congratulating you. She said nobody really told you the truth. And Johnson said she's been sober for 50 years now. So congrats to her on that.
Wow, survive. Wow.
Right?
Now that's a story.
1974. And she said that being forced by her mother to look at her nude body in a three-way mirror was the wake-up call that she needed to understand that she needed to get her life
Leave
back
it to
on
a
track.
black mama to get you on together.
Right?
Say what you will about the emotional terrorism that they output sometimes, but they get you together.
She said it was the first time I saw my bones looking back at me, and it was a major wake-up call. So she is telling her story in a one-woman play that is entitled Beverly Johnson in Vogue.
Where is I need the tickets right now.
So you gonna go see Miss Johnson?
Oh, to talk about a cocaine addiction, eating a bowl of brown rice, basically the fried rice without the fried egg. I'm here for it. Tell me all that you know.
Listen,
I want to try that diet though, without the cocaine.
I want to go see her one-woman play.
Yes, where is it? Is it at the Schubert Theater?
I have to. The Schubert Theater is gone. That's actually where I saw Dreamgirls. The Schubert Theater has been gone.
And Ragtime.
Man.
For a long time. At the
very,
ABC
very long
Entertainment
time.
Center.
Yes, sir.
Century City, come through.
Man.
2021 Avenue of the Stars.
That is.
What do you know about it?
Across the street, the Century Club. There was that other club that was definitely directly across the breezeway from the Schubert Theater.
Mm-hmm.
Urban Spencer says, "Let's go on a VIP field trip." Well, all of that stuff is gone now. It's an office building there now.
That's where CAA is or used to be headquartered, or they have offices there.
I think so. Yeah. So the whole area has changed, but like I said, 50 years sober is an accomplishment.
That is to be commended, and I need to hear this story
and
firsthand.
She stayed around in the industry.
I love a drug story.
You love a good drug recovery.
All of it.
All of it.
Active users, drug recovery. Have you ever been around a live cokehead before?
So Kanye West.
We were talking about cocaine.
Yeah, I know. I
it's crazy, but that
I
whole bag
no
of M&Ms, I've seen it happen.
That to stave off the shakes.
It's a real thing. I was like, ooh, girl, not me.
So listen, your boy Kanye, he's been popping up and down on Instagram every so often, right?
Isn't he the one that's superior to Taylor Swift and Beyonce?
Maybe, according to him.
According to.
Well, listen, he posted a photo, right, of a titanium surgical implant that he allegedly had to get his teeth removed for. All of them. All of his teeth. So he has a grill. It looks like a mouth guard. It's ugly. And it's based on a character that was in a James Bond movie. Jawbreaker, I think, is Dr. Metal Teeth. Was it The Spy Who Loves Me? I can't remember. It's one of the characters, but the character's name was Jawbreaker. And so Kanye showed the photo of it on his Insta story. And basically, it's titanium, could have some diamonds in it, and they run for about $850,000.
This is permanent.
Permanent. Because he wanted to look like, was the movie Moonraker? I think it was Moonraker that character was in.
So, I just so we're clear on this. This is something that he had to do?
Yeah, so the villain, no, this is something he wanted to do. So the villain was called Jaws. And I do believe he was first. I was correct. He was first seen in The Spy Who Loved Me. That was one of the early Bond flicks, and he also was in Moonraker. So I remember that. The Spy Who Loved Me was like 60s James Bond. Moonraker was like in the 70s, and I remember that character. He was hecka scary looking, but at the time it just looked like he had like silver teeth. Excuse me. So, yeah, that's what you want to see what it looks like?
No, I clocked out because he's trolling us.
He is, but there it is.
He did not get his teeth taken out to put this.
It looks like, when you were a little kid and you would play and you wanted braces, so you would just put foil in your mouth on your teeth. That's what it looked like he did.
I used the paperclip.
Same series.
Yeah.
You know, I just want Kanye to not do that.
He is trolling. He's up. He's. You know what he's doing right now? He's Gemini. That's what he's doing.
He's Gemini.
Yeah, totally.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Urban Spinster says, I live next door to crackheads. Kept me up all night with their withdrawal fights. One was stealing my water out of the front yard faucet.
I was told I couldn't talk about this or bring it up, so I'm not gonna say nothing.
What?
There's a difference between crack and cocaine.
There is.
And we all know that crack is cheap, and crack is whack.
It is.
So there's a difference. I've never seen. I'm just gonna be quiet. I've seen both, but yeah, that I've got to grab a Snickers bar because I'm hungry and I can't eat anything else because I'm moving too fast and wanting to jog. That's some interesting stuff.
A little manic energy there.
Yeah. But the other form of it, those people tend to be a little bit more aggressive than the pure format people.
So you're saying, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
When we come forward, we're going to get into a story that Dionne Warwick
I love her.
recalled.
She is off the chain.
About back in the day, and she said the prettiest man she had ever seen in her life. We're going to tell you who it was and how that man helped her out. And what happened.
She'd cuss you out, too. Don't get too close to her.
Listen, I can't wait to see what they develop because I don't know a lot about Dionne's backstory. And it's interesting. She is someone that, even though she was a black woman, she definitely was a pop star of her era.
She was.
And thus a different sort of experience than some of our.
Did you ever watch her documentary on CNN?
I did not.
Oh, you have.
It's fantastic.
Oh, you have to watch that documentary. Oh my God, Jill Munroe, you're missing out.
I'm gonna take you.
You don't know her backstory. Oh, there it is. Oh, she went to Europe and did some modeling. I love Dionne Warwick.
Well, we'll get into that.
She
when
needs
we
to
get
write
in
a
this
book.
Story. I'm sure she has. You know, Tiana Taylor is supposed to be starring in the biopic version of it. So
Should.
They're getting the script together with that.
I love her.
All of that and more on the other side. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Jackson Hewitt has a plan to get your tax refund fast with a buck here, buck there. Here a buck, there a buck, everywhere a buck.
You don't have to wait weeks for your tax refund. Get money sooner with a no-fee refund advance loan at Jackson Hewitt.
On this loan, there's a money today guarantee. E-I-E-I-DO.
Don't settle for chicken feed. Get fast bucks at Jackson Hewitt today. No-fee refund advance loans by Republic Bank offered to eligible clients. Money today guarantee if approved for a loan on a prepaid card. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Now you can get a Walmart Plus membership, plus not pay for it, because it's included with Straight Talk wireless plans. You get free delivery with Walmart Plus a Paramount Plus subscription included. Plus, you pay less for gas. That's a lot of pluses.
Only Straight Talk gives you unlimited 5G data and Walmart Plus included on select plans for free.
Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Requires service on Gold or Platinum Unlimited. One offer per eligible account. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. Additional terms apply.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007, they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA Can believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So it's so appropriate that we're talking Dionne Warwick, and this story involves Las Vegas because, after all, we talked about Usher earlier. And remember, Usher saved the day and stepped in and defended Tiana Taylor when Chris Brown was wilding out about that stuff last June. Remember that?
No,
he
what
was
are you
still
saying?
mad. He was mad at Tiana because she did not support him, he felt, when the Grammys, I believe it was, pulled his Michael Jackson tribute. And he was going off on her or something. And Usher, like, it was some drama at a roller skating rink in Vegas, at any rate. You know, Usher being a man and stepping up. So Dionne Warwick, this story, as I said, involves Las Vegas. And she shared that back in 1969, right, at an event in Las Vegas, she met a man and was stunned by his good looks.
Was he African American?
No, he is not.
Oh, okay. I know exactly what she's gonna say.
Yeah. And listen, I was a fan back in the day until I found
Do
out
his
the
name
real
start with a
story.
J?
No.
Oh, okay.
And she said that he was so charmed by her, he offered to help her sell more albums, and he did. And she sold more albums in Las Vegas of this particular single than anywhere else. So she revealed that when she met Elvis Presley, she was overwhelmed. That she said that she had never met a man as pretty as him before. And that she said that he told her, like, he was a fan of her or whatever, and he appreciated her music. And so he said that he would help her to sell more, albums or singles in Las Vegas. So he announced, and pledged that, let me get this story right. At his show, he announced that every Dionne Warwick album that was sold in Las Vegas would contain a signed photograph of him. She sold out. People were looking for him. She said they were stalking around. She said he was so kind to her and so wonderful, and he made sure that it happened. And she said that she sold so many albums in Vegas, more than she ever could imagine, and it was more than she sold anywhere else. And she said it was wonderful and one of those aha moments, and he was beautiful, and that she enjoyed a friendship with him until he passed away in 1977. And just so we, as you mentioned, we're going to spit Dionne's accolades really quick because a lot of people probably don't know. Sold 100 million albums worldwide, won 6 Grammys, and the album that Elvis signed and put the photographs in, it was Soulful, which was her 12th album, and it was released in April of 1969 on Scepter Records. So, shout out to Dionne. I know that there's this thing where people often call Elvis an appropriator, a colonizer. I have always felt like, and again, there's some things that are shady, probably some things that he did, but I always felt like it seemed like in the stories that he did give credit to Black artists and Black culture where he got his sound from and some of his signature moves. And they say that, the Colonel, that was his manager, and Tom Hanks played him recently in the Elvis remake, that the Colonel kind of, obviously robbed him of his money, but tried to keep that aspect that he had a real affinity for Black people, African Americans, the Negro at the time, and they tried to keep that under wraps. And I always, obviously we'll never really know. And his life, when you think about it, was cut short rather early. But I wonder if he would have been more a part of the movement, because he was one of those artists that, didn't seem to treat them in a wrong manner. But what do you think about Miss Dion?
I love and respect her, and I had the opportunity to meet her. I think it was a couple years ago. She had a concert here in Los Angeles at I think it's the Saban. I was going to call it the Wilshire Theater. That's what it used to be called. And I was able to watch her sound check before her show.
Okay.
Just a really nice, gracious lady. Very funny. Just down to earth.
And, recently she appeared on The Masked Singer, so she's still getting it in and performing.
I love it.
At, what is she, 80-something years
She's in her
old?
80s.
Yeah.
She's hilarious, and she's just a firecracker. She was great on The Apprentice when she was on there.
83.
She's a funny lady. I like Dion.
So shout out to her.
Lady Dion.
And shout out to the Psychic Friends Network, and that's what friends are for.
Yeah.
In good times.
And bad times. Yes. All that.
Be by your side
I love her.
forevermore. Who was that? Her.
Walk on by.
Gladys Knight, Elton John, and who was the other individual involved in that one? That's what friends are for.
Stevie Wonder.
Maybe. I can't remember.
I always think about the live version where she did with Luther. It was Luther, Stevie, and one other person that I can't think of. I think it was Whitney Houston on one of those Grammy
Did they
Award
talk
shows.
about, let me ask you really quickly, did they talk about her time with the Psychic Friends Network in that documentary?
They did.
Okay.
They talked about everything.
Okay.
Everything was talked
Did she
about.
really believe in psychics? I was always curious about that.
I don't remember. I honestly don't remember that particular part.
I'm going to look it up. Yeah. Well, listen, thanks VIPs and it was Stevie. Shout out to Urban Spinster in the chat. We appreciate you for keeping us
Urban
honest
Spinster.
and on point. Listen.
Guest producer credit for tonight.
Absolutely. So, and that lets you know that we do pay attention when you guys send us topics, and we will discuss. So hit us up. I'm at Stiletto Jill. He's at Trent the Artist.
Yes.
Thank you guys for listening. Back again tomorrow with more trending topics at Headlines, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on KBLA Talk 1580. On the other side, the best of KBLA. Y'all enjoy your night. Thank you.
Don't make me over.